trying to jack a car while the cops were chasing him. Um, so it's actually a lot smarter to steal a car that's on the street, for example.
Just over two
But
and a
these
half
are the
minutes
little
gone
decisions
by
that you
here in
have
the
to make.
second half.
Steal a
It's
car that
been a
someone's
nice stretch for them
driving.
offensively.
You can just
I
rip
mean, the
someone out of the car, as
communication's
opposed to
great.
having to
The
go up to a
movement's been
parked
really
car while the
good.
cops are on you,
This is
for example.
solid team basketball.
Having to smash the window, play
And
the
so it's
little mini
Milwaukee
game
with
to
it.
hotwire the
Collins,
car and
the
then get
pass to
away.
Turner.
Like, it
Basket
takes
good.
time now. It takes a little bit of
He's just so
thought.
crafty, and he
You need to
knows how to play
actually think
against
about what you're
size.
doing.
And
And that
those are
is
the kinds of
sort
shots
of one of
under
my main
duress that
takeaways.
he works
Um,
on every single
Whereas
day.
if you're undetected at this
On
point,
the
there's no
way,
cops on
Bane.
you.
Drops one
Maybe
in
you
from the
do
wing.
want to steal a
Well,
parked
the
car.
green light to fire
Right? Maybe you
away
have a
on the
Slim
catch.
Jim or you have
Desmond
a
Bane,
key floater,
great use of a
for
good
example,
pass.
that will allow you to break into a car
Pass to Rollins.
without setting off the car alarm.
Where the bounce pass.
You can just smash the window, I guess, but
Here's
the car
Hero.
alarm will go off and cops
Jams
might
it
get
in
on you.
off the great move.
So
Well,
basically,
simply stated,
in a
this
way,
defense has
yeah,
had nothing for
but
this guy.
it's different to
Phoenix
previous
leading by
GTA because
23.
every
Greg, we know
NPC
Tyler Hero
is
is known
thinking.
as a shooter, but he's really
Now,
upgraded
every
his ball
system
handling.
is designed to be
20 points per game like
a
he
bit more
has,
realistic.
you need to be more than a spot-up shooter.
30 FPS or 60. I don't have any official info on that.
Ball's gone 1 of
What
5
I
from
saw
three-point territory.
when Rob was playing it with me, and this was pretty much 2 months ago. So I can't make any official statements on that. That's going to have to come from Rockstar. What I saw was 4K 30 on a base PS5.
With it, 5 on the
I
clock.
saw 4K 30 on a base PS5. I don't know if there's going to be like a 1080p
And
60.
it's another
I
Milwaukee
don't know.
shot right there going in.
But what I saw
Wow, fired
was
that
high
bounce
fidelity
pass in there. Beautiful.
4K
Ball,
30
the pass to Wembanyama.
on base.
It's good. The assist
God.
there, time
So
for
I don't
ball.
know
Wembanyama's
what
got
their
6
plan
points
is.
in the quarter.
I did
And
ask him. I did ask him.
Wembanyama is
Yes,
aggressive
but
on offense because defenses feel
it's
helpless
in July. Like,
to
game
stop
comes out in
him.
November. That's 5 months before the game comes out, right? Like, I think that to have concrete info on exactly what they'll be able to do, that's going to have to come
You'd
from
like to
them.
see more guys
We'll be
start to
closer
get
to watch.
involved. I don't know if he can do it alone.
I
Ball
can
with
do
a
it, knowing
wide
I
open
can do
look.
it, and get
Again,
fuck
no
do you
decision.
shoot with this pussy?
You know, he's a threat from deep, no doubt about it, but it just has not been there for him tonight. You might
These
want to
decisions that Rob has just spoke about make this game feel massively different to every GTA we've played before. And with that in mind, I sort of want to shift over to what I actually saw at Rockstar and the gameplay that I saw, and why I think this is essentially the definitive GTA. It's sort of like Red Dead 2, mainly, but also games like San Andreas, with all of its side activities, GTA 4, and GTA 5 had a baby. It strips the best parts of those games and the fan favorite features from each of them and puts it into one game. Thus, in my opinion, making it the biggest and best GTA I've ever seen. Alright, let's talk about 2 things that people are wondering about. Will GTA 6 have an honor system like Red Dead 2? And will GTA 6 have a relationship system? The answer is yes and yes,
plan
but
a little bit offensively.
no and yes. Okay, so let's talk about that first. The honor-like system from Red Dead 2 coming across. This time this includes criminal profile, and it's actually quite different. Now I know what you might be thinking, I don't want to play as a good guy in GTA, that doesn't make any sense, or a criminal. And yes, they completely understand. And Rob Nelson made it very clear to me that a low criminal profile does not mean bad. That play the game how you want to play the game. It's not bad, it's just different. At the same time, if you are being an extremely bad guy, you know, going around puppies or hammering bodies that are already... Okay, I actually, this is something I haven't mentioned yet on the concept of puppies.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game
I
that
was
may be
told, now I
already
don't know
on
if
the
this is going to get cut. If you have any questions about how in-depth GTA 6 is, I was told by Rob, I believe, that someone could be walking a dog and that dog can do a shit. Okay. That person could then pick up the dog shit in a poop bag. And then you could hit that person. And then pick up the dog shit. the dog shit and throw it at people.
Bitch. Don't fucking thinking that's fucking laptop, bitch. Shut the fuck up, you fucking faggot.
Or excessively mowing people down, for example, yeah, your criminal profile will, okay. That someone could be walking a dog, that person, and then pick up the dog
Dumb
shit
fucking bitch.
and throw it at people.
Fucking retarded ass fucking faggot bitch.
Or excessively mowing people down, for example, yeah, your criminal profile will look. Now, what's also interesting is there's no criminal profile. You can see there's criminal profile. There is a menu that has an entire Jason NBC account implemented that shows both Jason NBC's criminal profile status. And that Jason NBC account is so very so how do you get through criminal profile? Not even necessarily being a good guy, right? Again, this is GTA, you're not really meant to be a good guy. But instead, you can profile by being a good criminal. So what the hell does that mean? What is a good criminal? Well, say you're doing a store robbery. Let's say you successfully pull off the store robbery without killing anyone. So get out, like confession. So that's in a crime. Really increase your criminal profile because you did the right way. You have to say, I think I'm very, this is that little trick story I'm accepted not. It's going, listen, actually something, there's a state you can get to. But your criminal profile gets stolen. So that, but the logo will actually crack for you. You make it that way, you're essentially, I don't want to say evil, I don't think evil is the right word, but your criminal profile, that is higher than I think that's my role. But I actually had a chat with Tom Ross, so basically, into the every month in a case, he verified.
Boy,
The reason
early
they do
in his
that, and then let
career,
the
LaMelo
profile
Ball has let you
on
know
criminal,
I
I guess,
am
from that,
dangerous
on
from
stage.
deep. The three
Isn't to make
ball
people feel
is
shit for
good.
them.
Kuzma,
It's
that's
because
good.
there are going to be
Yeah,
some people
fundamental
aren't
basketball
what they
here.
do. When
Passes
you
on time
you might
and
feel
on
like a
target.
criminal profile system. This isn't my GTA. I don't want that in my GTA game. And they're like, okay, if you don't want to opt into the system,
From
you're going to
downtown,
You're going to stop already with
that
it.
falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. Ball's got assist number 8 here in this one already.
I'm saying that, I do. And we'll talk about that
Here's Rollins and slam dunk by
at
Rollins.
some point in the future, I promise.
Oh my goodness, that was with authority, leaving no doubt.
Kicks it up to James. Over Chang, and it's Phoenix scoring again.
You also take
I
another pace.
love the
A little bit
efficiency
of
he's
a
playing with
on the side,
tonight.
then you
Not
can
scoring as much
it's
as
actually
usual,
watching how
but
the
he's been
hard
effective
and
in
that is
their
quite
plays.
interesting. I'm just saying, I think saying that we probably wasn't this exactly good. It'll say, I did ask about Project Grandma for non-copyright music.
To something else.
They showed it to me. It's in the game.
Out to the
There
right
is
wing.
a copyright-free
Ball with the three.
music mode
Another
for all
three
content
for
creators.
Phoenix.
Without question, their three-point shooting has been the story of the
There is
fourth quarter.
genuinely
Boy, they are
nothing you can
absolutely in
do
the zone.
to
This
recover
is
your criminal
exactly-
profile from that point. And again, like I said, that doesn't even necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Maybe that's how you want to play. But I think that's a great feature. I can't wait to see how that actually works. Anyway, I'm really excited to see what the community reacts to the criminal profile. And I have a couple pages of notes from Rob about why they chose to put this in GTA 6 and the thought process behind it. So that will be in its own video later in the week. So look forward to that. Let's talk about the relationship system, because again, there is no harm. You're not going to
Pass the ball. Launches a three. Gets that one to fall. That's his 6th field goal. He has shot the ball 12 times.
Yeah, this is just a big-time offensive performance from a young LaMelo Ball. He's already
only
put the
getting to the
league
20,
on
I
notice.
do have information on the cash systems coming up later in this video here. What I'll say for now is this. I didn't hear about any sort of like cryptocurrency or like an extra currency necessarily. There is obviously your bank account. There is cash. And then sometimes there is a third one that's, as you can see Jason holding there, that's your duffel bag loot value. Any of your duffel bag loot that you obtain during robberies, for example, needs to be taken to a fence. Fence system, I don't elaborate on too much in this video. I will break that down in a specific video about how you make money in GTA 6. That will be coming this week. You find out any information on GTA Online, or is it too early? I did ask, of course, obviously, like big GTA Online guy, I did ask. They're just not sharing anything about that yet. Yeah, what I was there for is strictly single player.
Ball kicks to LeBron.
Will you get fat if you move too much? Yeah.
No good from outside.
Will there be any more marketing in terms of trailers and videos between now and release? I'm not too sure. Any info collector's edition? No.
Here's
No, it's sort of strictly there for the game and the game itself.
Two shots coming up.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to break any news that you typically expect Rockstar to break themselves. I don't know. They were very secret about that. They were very open about the game itself. Unbelievably open about the game itself.
And James throws it down.
But
you can see it in LeBron's
as for that, like announcements that Rockstar would probably make themselves, Rockstar's going to make them themselves. I think the screenshots don't look like
outside for Wembanyama.
Big screen.
Off target with his three.
That's not exactly how that works. You can increase your relationship status by obviously texting Jason and Lucia. They can text each other and you can say goodnight. You quite literally can treat this game like a day if you want.
Shot by Turner,
that's
no
up to
good.
you.
Phoenix
Even things like going to the gym.
They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. And Wembanyama launches it from deep. That doesn't go either for Wembanyama.
If not, that is something you can do. When Jason and Lucia are walking around together, you can hold hands.
Here's Turner. Terrific assist. A nice finish.
Okay, let's talk about the map real quick. Roll through some figures.
Nice ball movement.
The map is twice the size of GTA map.
Makes
Three times the size of Red Dead 2 map. Vice City itself is twice the size of Los Angeles.
It's good.
And
The assist that time from
surrounds, the sort of the surrounding
been a
suburbs of Vice
terrific
City.
floor
It's
general
11 times bigger than Los Angeles and
Boy,
its
his
surrounds.
floor awareness is on another
I
level
did cut
right now.
a bit from this video where I talked about the map shape itself. I did see the shape of the map. It was covered by the fog of
Well,
war.
this is the kind of fight
But
that you want from your team. What it
because of
speaks
last
to
week
is the culture
and what came
you
out, I
have
sort of I cut that. Yeah.
Rollins against Ball.
And yes, the Vice City and the surrounds of Vice City are 11 times bigger
And so it's Phoenix
roughly
easily grabbing this one.
than Los Angeles and its surrounding
The
suburbs.
fans were waiting for something.
But the actual city itself, I believe, is twice
I mean,
the
they
size.
just rolled.
Which is like nuts, dude. What? That is huge. And I believe we would have seen in the trailer. I've only seen it once at this point, so we're going through this now. Up the top left, there are 3 bars: health, stamina, and what looks like Deadeye, but is actually called focus. Now, health and stamina, somewhat self-explanatory, right? We don't need to go into that. What's interesting about all 3 of these, though, is they can all be permanently and temporarily increased through things like working out consistently, doing side activity. Think, somewhat similar to Red Dead 2, and they can be temporarily increased by things like consumables. One-time use items that will fill your bar up a bit more than usual, but as that bar gets depleted. Yeah, so we saw that in the trailer, right? Jason went to the fridge, and what did he have? Some sort of drink or food. And it increased, I believe, his focus and stamina. We'll break that down at some point when we get the trailer back up, but essentially, the bar fills up to its normal point, right? If this is the bar, it's that long. If you eat something, it brings the bar up to here.
I can't believe we are finally getting GTA 6. It still feels unreal.
Thank you for that. It brings the bar up to here, but only once. Like, once you use that bar, it only fills up to here again. So you sort of need to have a consumable to get it up to that point again if you want. I don't know if that makes sense. But you can permanently increase the bar size through activities. It's only going to fill up to the regular point again, right? It's not going to go all the way up. Is it Orlando or Disneyland in the game? No, but I might be able to break an exclusive right here. There is a zoo. I didn't see it. But there's a zoo. Up again. You can sort of boost your bar past the normal point with consumables. Food, drinks, protein bars that we will talk about. Dude, the gym system's kind of crazy. But let's talk about focus, okay? Because this is different to Deadeye. It's not the exact same thing. It's similar, but very different at the same time. But you can use focus as both Jason and Lucia to slow down time, kind of like Deadeye, kind of like Michael's special ability. But
Did they do a good job around the integration with the DLC's controller and also...
I didn't get hands-on. Rob was right next to me. I mean, I didn't... I probably maybe could have got hands-on if I asked, but I don't know. But I'm not too sure about that. As for first person, they didn't tell me anything about first person.
How many percent of the buildings are rented?
They didn't give me an exact percentage of the buildings that were enterable, but hundreds is what I was told. The airports, we saw one of them in the trailer. And actually, we saw some interiors of the airport in that third and final mission that was showed, that Megamundo mission. So you can use focus as both Daisy and Lucia to slow down time, kind of like Jedi, kind of like Michael's special ability, but you're also going to be able to see weak points on both NPCs and vehicles. Now, I will talk about vehicles. In fact, vehicles will need their own standalone video because it's even fuel. They actually did it. They actually did it. It would have been a fucking cool announcement to make, but wasn't for last week. If you're worried about it, it's fine. Like, it's going to be fun. It's not going to be like a massive inconvenience, but they're doing fuel. They're even doing electric vehicle chargers. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We'll get to that. I'm excited. Can you tell? Yes, when you use focus on NPCs, you can see their weak points, and of course on vehicles, you want to target things like tires, which, as you saw in the trailer, is a lot more useful this time around. The engine block, the gas tank, target different points of vehicles, and it's going to be a lot more effective than previous. Yeah, you can, when you use focus, in the trailer, they didn't use focus while they were in a vehicle, did they? I don't think they did. But Rob showed the gameplay where I believe he used focus while he was shooting out of a car, and it highlights like the weak points on the vehicle. Is the hair growth system back? Yes. In fact, in save houses, you can like go into the bathroom. I'm getting a lot of notifications. You can go into the bathroom and shave and cut your hair in the bathroom, but you can't make it longer. So you can only make your hair shorter. If you want to change your hairstyle and beard style and whatnot, you have to go to a hairdresser, basically. No first person is a generation now. I don't know if there is or isn't, for what that's worth. You have an open relationship? I mean, you can go to the strip club and whatnot. As for an open relationship, right, there's 3 different types of money in dark at the top right. You've got your bank account, which I believe is a purple logo. You've got cash. Then sometimes you've got a third one there, which is your duffel bag. How much loot is in your duffel bag? The money in your bank is safe, obviously. Money that's in your cash can be lost on death, or possibly arrest as well, but definitely death. As for the duffel bag stuff, anything that's in your duffel bag will have to be taken to a fence. We'll get more into that fence system later in the week. There's a lot to it. But for now, if you're wondering, you will need to take anything in your duffel bag to a fence. Also, an interesting thing this time around is any cash in your cash account that you can't just deposit that via your phone. You actually have to go to an ATM, which I kind of like. It makes more sense. It's more realistic. Right, I've got a few notes on the driving here. As you probably saw in the trailer, how many guns can you carry? So you can carry 2 pistols. And you can carry 2 two-handed weapons. One can go on your back, and the other one will be held in your hand. So maybe sometimes you kind of only want to carry one heavy. And again, I did speak to Rob Nelson about this. We had a chat about it. The driving is definitely weightier than GTA 5. I'm not a car guy, so I can't tell you the ins and outs of the driving mechanics. But you know, like with a lot of cars, for example, you can't just gun it from a stop-start. You can't just hold on to it. You're going to spin out. Like rear-wheel drive cars, for example. You're going to feel that this time. So I have a quote here, actually. I guess in some ways less arcade than GTA 5. But what's also interesting is that the game has higher top speeds than GTA 5. So while there was a bit more weightiness sort of close to it as GTA 4, it also, in a lot more ways, is even more fun than GTA 5, where, yeah, there's higher top speeds. You're going to be able to zoom across the map. Yeah, I think... Now, I do have a quote from Rob here. I didn't, at the time I made this video, I didn't have, like, all of the quotes yet, so it's why I sort of need to do additional videos to break this down. I asked Rob, would you say the driving is as weighty as GTA 4? Because this was after he sort of spun out a little bit while he was playing. Rob replied, only in the best way possible. The team has worked hard to maintain some of the best parts of the weightiness and feel of GTA 4, but have the accessibility of GTA 5. It has been built up from scratch on this hardware, and they have much more control, tuning drivetrain, tires, suspension, steering. All of that is getting applied to the physics model. I said, and top speeds are higher than GTA 5? Rob said yes. So higher top speeds. Now, one of the other interesting things, let me get this up as well. I kind of touched on them a little bit. Rob says, traffic density is crazy compared to previous games. Also, the roads are narrower than GTA 5. So, you've got to maybe try and drive a little bit better. You're just squeezing through sometimes. I think it's a lot of fun and it feels rewarding to get better at driving. And the vehicles are so different, you find yourself drawn to certain ones. And the motorcycles are so fast, the fast cars are so fast. But many of the high-end sport cars, they're shit off-road. I love that, Rob. I love that. That was one of my main complaints with GTA 5, was that you can take a supercar off-road. I hated that. Rob says the high-end sport cars, they're shit off-road. And so the off-road tuning is very important for certain vehicles if you're into that. The vehicles team has gone bananas on this one. Dude, like I said...
Casino, you can play casino games.
I'm not too sure, Drew. I don't know. I won't be able to play it in Australia if there is, I don't think. Like I said, Rob was so open. This is their baby. And at this point, they're not hiding anything about the game. Like, the mask is off, the gloves are off. Like, this is it, man. You're going to get a swarm with information today and over the next weeks. Like, I'm giving you 2 quotes of my 20 pages of Rob Nelson quotes now.
He watched the Hopium stream.
Have I met Sam? I didn't, but I was told by Rob and the team that while I watched the trailer for the first time, I was sitting in the chair that Sam Hauser apparently sits in when he goes to Rockstar North to test it with Rob in Rob's office. So I could feel Sam's aura in the room with us, but I didn't meet Sam. So no, I didn't hear anything about online. This is strictly about single player. And again, I've only seen 3 hours of gameplay. I think the driving looks to be what a lot of us hope for it to be. Somewhat of a mix between 4 and 5, but even better. So that was really encouraging to see. Okay, we're going to talk about the police system because this is another thing that just completely changes the way you're going to be playing. And this is one of those situations where you need to make decisions constantly, more so than in GTA 5. In GTA 5, right? It was a bit earlier in this video. Deadeye, it's called Focus now. It's a bit different. I'll elaborate on it though, of course. And this is one of those situations where you need... to make decisions constantly, more so than in GTA 5. In GTA 5, right, you steal a car, you drive away from the cops. It's pretty simple. It's not hard to lose. You know how that
shopping grocery stores and you skin animals and make clothing out of them.
Good question. So, Rob, here's a fun little fact. This is why I love, and I didn't want to do like a typical preview, because I want to be able to answer questions like this. As for malls, I didn't see any malls specifically. I don't know. Surfing, I don't think so, but don't quote me on that. As for the groceries stuff, Rob told me that there was a point in development where they had a grocery system in place, and people sort of told Rob that he needed to scale it back a little bit. So you can still shop for groceries at things like stores, right? Like where Jason's walking out of the store in trailer 2 with beers. I saw Rob do that, so you can, like, you go pick up groceries, you can shop. But there isn't like a full-blown grocery store, I don't think. But apparently at one point in the game's development, there was, which is funny. She's coming back, and can we buy or sell houses and properties? I'm not too sure about cheats, but on the topic of properties, this is something I did ask. You can buy garages. However, they made a decision to not let you buy houses, safe houses in the game because it doesn't make sense for the story. Jason and Lucia are on the run. So it would make no sense, and I get it, it would make no sense, kind of like in Red Dead 2, for them to be on the run and just have a house.
It's an animation rather than what was shown unofficially. Also love the content.
You know if the car refuel feature has an animation rather than what was shown unofficially on it? Yes. Yes. There is an animation that plays. It wasn't shown in the lease. And I'm going to make an entire video this week, everything the lease got wrong, because, brother, there is an animation, I would say, from memory, it's about 10 seconds-ish.
Will you be able to
You go, refuel, rob banks in single player. You can rob every store that you can go into. I think banks and stuff will be probably safe for missions. That's a guess. I don't know that for sure. So you pull up to the gas tank, you click refuel. You can also repair at gas stations, just like a little quick repair. You can refuel, a little cutscene plays, you hold R2, quickly fills up the car, and you go. Drifting system, as I sort of mentioned before with the quote from Rob,
dismembering in the game.
Body dismembering in the game. I don't know if it's Red Dead 2 levels. I don't know. The drifting, what's it like? I mean, the simple answer would be better than 5. What's it like? It's sort of, I'd have to go back to that quote from Rob, where I said, where was it? And it's really just a driving in general quote. The team has worked hard to maintain some of the best parts of the weightiness and feel of GTA 4 for the accessibility of GTA 5. It's been built from the ground up on this hardware, and they have much more control tuning drivetrain, tires, suspension, steering, and all of that is getting applied to the physics model. So that's all right. Let's get into this video. Well, this time, my God, there's a lot of changes. Let's talk about some of the changes I saw. First off, police no longer show up on the minimap. Big change. So you can't just that was what Rob sort of made a point of telling me, is you can't just stare at the minimap and hide in an alley and watch the cops go by and instead of actually playing the game in GTA 5, we just stared at the minimap, right? That's what we also did. You can't do that anymore because the cops aren't on the minimap this time around. You actually need to pay attention. Now, the 6-star wanted level is back. It's kind of hard to get 6 stars apparently, and if you do have a 6-star wanted level, the cops will search the map wide. If you have less than a 6-star wanted level, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, there will be an initial circle on your map that the cops will be searching it, and then there will be a bigger circle outside of that that's a lighter tinge of red. You've got a dark red circle where you did the thing, and you've got a bigger search area. You kind of need to probably aim to get out of that circle. That will help you lose the cops because they're not really going to be searching outside of that circle. But losing the cops is a lot harder. One, cops are smarter. They're going to show I don't know if harder is the right word. If you're smart about it, in theory, maybe it could be easier to lose the cops. It takes more thought. Cops are smarter. They're going to shoot out your tires. And losing a tire in this game is a lot harder to drive than GTA 5. It is. But one of the main changes to the cop system that I noticed while we were playing is that a lot of cars have trackers in them. Especially cop cars. Every cop car will have a tracker in them. And there's different levels of trackers. So it's going to be almost impossible to lose the cops while you're driving a cop car. They're going to know exactly where you are. It's not impossible, but if you have a car that has a tracker in it, well, you might want to switch to an older car that doesn't have a tracker in it, or try and remove that tracker. Now, how do you remove a tracker that's in a car? Well, you need to take it to a fence. And that fence, you need to unlock the ability with that fence to remove trackers, which isn't something you unlock at the start. How else could you lose the cops? Well, you could also take your car to a paint spray, and paint sprays are returning. And then again, paint sprays are something that you unlock over time. You're not going to have all of the paint sprays unlocked. Not to mention that they're smarter as well. So they know the car that you got into, they know your appearance, what you're wearing, all of that. They also recognize if you were with Lucia, like if Jens and Lucia are together, They're going to recognize that, so you might want to split up. They're going to recognize what weapon you're holding. That's going to be a big deal as well. So what's the cost? You have to put some thought into it. You're going to want to change your outfit. You're probably going to want to change the vehicle that you're driving. Again, and I think this is great from what I saw, don't get me wrong, but in the best way possible, the game sort of makes you think a lot more than GTA 5 did. Again, we're going to get more in depth over that over the next week. That's only like half of my police notes. And I've actually got more since. Like I spoke to Rob a couple of days ago, and again, he broke down the entire heat system for me. So that's probably gonna be the first deep dive I do, is into the police system, where I can actually like show you the extended look now. And sort of break it down, but specifically I'm gonna make deep dive videos for each system within the game. This is what I was saying. I don't want mine to be like a typical preview. Like, I know a lot of people that go to preview games ask more like surface level questions and like design philosophy questions. And I did ask those sorts of questions. But for me, like, I don't know about you guys, but I really want to know how the game works. Like, how is this changing? How is that changing?
And Jason, sleep with them.
Brother, you would assume, I don't know. So I need to break these down a lot. This video is already at like, what, 15 minutes, so, you know. And let's quickly talk about the phone. The phone is a big part of this game. There's a full-on social media system like a lot of us were expecting. And yes, you can look on the in-game social media, see what other NPCs are posting, where they're posting it, and you could go to that location and possibly see the event unfolding in real time. So it is quite an extensive social media system. There's also a bunch of other apps on your phone, like BuzzFeed, which is sort of cash. If you get wanted levels while you are together, do we assume that the other character...
Welcome, everyone, to our 2K Sports Broadcast. We have a great game on tap for you. In this game, we'll see Phoenix against Detroit. This is
I don't know about intercourse, brother. I don't know. As for businesses, I don't... we don't know how the game's going to end, right? So I don't know what the end game of single player is going to look like. That's probably the one part that they were obviously secretive about. As for businesses during the normal story playthrough, again, it's sort of like the Red Dead 2 conundrum, right? This is a couple that's on the run. Everything in this game has been designed about this couple being on the run. It wouldn't really make sense if they just had a business operation while they're on the run. You know what I mean? As for the wanted level question, you can split up.
Maps that you can travel to.
I don't believe there's multiple maps. At least not yet. Who knows what the future holds, right? I don't know.
Is it Buxel or just Buck Currency or Buck and TGG?
It's just money. You've got money. And then Buck Me is the banking app. I think I actually explained it right here. Yeah, when you get wanted levels, you can split up and that will lose a star. So if you have 4 stars, the police know they're looking for a couple, you split up, it'll go down to 3.
Did you ask
social media system? Yes.
There's
There's also a bunch of yeah, I mean, as for any announcements that you would expect from Rockstar, that's going to come from Rockstar. So, announcements of when things are coming and that sort of stuff, that's not what I'm here to do. Other apps on your phone, like a Buck Me, is sort of a Cash App parody, right? That's going to be your banking app now. Ride Me is like Uber, so you can call Ubers to you. Scooter Bros, that's going to be like the mechanic in GTA 5, where you can call your personal vehicle. And that wasn't a thing in GTA 5 single player. So
did you get to see him fly a jet?
I didn't get to see him fly a jet. We sort of ran out of time. I saw a lot in 2.5 hours, but it's GTA. You're just not going to be able to see everything, right? Gage, no, I didn't hear anything about online, not yet. As for trains, there are trains, there's trams, there's bus stops. All of these can act as fast travel if you want them to. There's also Ride Me, which I mentioned here, which is like Uber. Let me let this play out. I'll answer some questions after. Social media system, yes. There's also a bunch of other apps on your phone, like the Buck Me is sort of a Cash App parody, right? That's going to be your banking app now. Ride Me is like Uber, so you can call Ubers to you. Scooter Bros, that's going to be like the mechanic in GTA 5, where you call your personal vehicle. And that wasn't a thing in GTA 5 single player, so that's a pretty big deal, right? Being able to call your car to you. You've got WhatsApp, which is texting, so you can text other NPCs in the game, as well as Jason and Lucia can text back and forth. There's also a fitness app, like telling you when to work out and like what your workout status is, if that's something you care about. In fact, let's pivot and let's talk about side activities, because this is a pretty big part of the game. Let's start off with gyms, seeing as we were just sort of talking about working out. What I'm going to explain is a quite in-depth system. Some people are going to love this. Other people are going to be like, that's not for me. I don't really want to go to the gym in
I
a
need to
video
know
game.
if we can flock a game because I can break up with my GS then because we have literally everything we need in the game.
You good, bro?
Did you see the map? Not many maps, the whole map like into 5.
I did. I saw the shape of the map. I didn't see it had the fog of war. But obviously,
Will there be
this
a
past
stock
week,
market?
things have come out about the map. Stock market? Do I know about the stock market? I don't know if there is a stock market. I wanted a GTA, not a real life simulator. I guess the days of crazy rampages and high-speed chases are over. That's a really good point, Rook, and that is something that I spoke directly to Rob about several times. All of these systems, as I sort of mentioned here in a second,